In St. Paul's letter today, we hear that we are called to follow the gospel, to follow the good news. But who is calling us? Christ himself. How do we respond to that call? Today we are in some sad times in the church. Because of the chaos that we see happening around us in leadership, many of us are heartbroken and saddened. I myself too am saddened. However, what we need to do is constantly remember that God gives us the chance to be renewed, for his church to be renewed. Church is for all people. Doesn't matter who they are, deaf, blind, black, Mexican, Korean, it doesn't matter. The list goes on of all people. Church is family. On Sundays, we often hear in the Gospels that Jesus goes out and meets the great variety of humanity, many different people. He meets them, he encounters each one, and he is not afraid. Jesus shows us that God's love, that is true love. So how can we do that? We need to act together. We need to lead the church. We need to have the church as an example of who God is, who Jesus is, who the Holy Spirit is. That is our belief. We can't simply give up. Yesterday we celebrated the feast day of St. Monica, who was the mother of St. Augustine, who consistently prayed for her son because Augustine's heart and mind needed a conversion. He needed to be in communion with God. We need to pray for that now, that our hearts and mind be in communion with God, to follow St. Augustine's example of renewal. It is time for that. It's time for that change. It's time to lead the church. We cannot be afraid. St. Augustine was never afraid. We can't be like the blind Pharisees from the gospel today. We need to do better than that. We need to work together to build up our faith so that it can flourish and spread God's love, to show Jesus' ministry and service. Jesus shows us what it means to live a life fully alive of with virtue,